research that I've been looking at and trying to discover the different areas of brokenness in Houston, it seemed like every major area of brokenness came back to the idea of literacy in schools. That if kids weren't able to read at level in third grade, that it led to a whole cascade of events. So that seemed like a really good place to put some leverage toward. So that was practically why we said if we're going to give influence, we're going to give time and effort, then we need to be mentoring in the schools in systems that are already established instead of trying to create our own thing. But here's a public school system that's there that we can partner with and be with. Church UH is mentoring in 3 different schools, and one of those schools we've been at for 3 years, and the other ones we just started this year. And this particular school was one of the schools that was in line to be, or there was at least a threat to be shut down last year. And there was a massive turnaround there at that school that it was no longer being suspected or on the list to be ended. And I know that the report from Children at Risk moved it from an F rating to a B+ at that school.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And not saying that we did that, but we think that we had some influence in mentoring the kids. One story in particular, there was a kid that was in the 3rd grade who, when our guy was mentoring him, couldn't even read basic sight words, and so he was a long way from 3rd grade reading level. And our guy that mentored spent time with him every week, was very consistent, was there, the scheduled times he was supposed to be there, and then even some unscheduled times to just be around him. And the kid didn't have very many safe relationships, didn't have a lot of routine in his life, didn't have a lot of things that really gave him a lot of comfort. And so having our mentor there, we suspect, provided him with enough safety that he was able to operate in a higher function when he was taking his STAR exam.
Wow.
So our mentor was as surprised as anybody that this student passed the STAR exam, because he said he's still not reading at 3rd grade level, but he passed it. And we think the Lord has a lot to do with that, and providing him the safety net to try his hardest and to put himself out there and to succeed. So we've seen some really great things happen over the course of that 3-year relationship, where there's an excellent principal at the school who has really put her hands to the task and has embraced us fully and encouraged us. And there's been a massive turnaround at that school, and we are so glad to be a part of it. The other 2 schools that we're in, we've been there much shorter, but we've also seen a turnaround at those places. And I think that mentoring and being in the schools has everything to do with that, having people there that love on the students.
Right.